What did Yvonne DiCarlo regret? Why are there two Marilyn Munsters? Why was Phoebe, played by Joan Marshall, replaced with Lily, played by Yvonne DiCarlo? The answers are coming up next.
Oh, you forgot to light it.
Hey, Lily. Allow me.
The Munsters is an American sitcom depicting the home life of a family of benign monsters. The series stars Fred Gwynne as Frankenstein's monster and household head Herman Munster, Yvonne DiCarlo as his vampire wife Lily, Al Lewis as Grandpa the aged vampire Count Dracula, Beverly Owen, later replaced by Pat Priest, as their niece Marilyn, and Butch Patrick as their werewolf-like son Eddie. The series originally aired on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on CBS from September 24, 1964 to May 12, 1966. 70 episodes were produced. The show was cancelled after ratings had dropped to a series low in the face of competition from ABC's Batman. However, the Munsters found a large audience in syndication. A spin-off series ensued, as well as several films, including one with a theatrical release and several more recent attempts to reboot it. Most of these attempts to reboot the series were of very low quality. The idea of a family of comical monsters was first suggested to Universal Studios by animator Bob Clampett, who developed the idea from 1943 to 1945 as a series of cartoons. The project did not make progress until mid-1963, when a similar idea was submitted by The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends writers Alan Burns and Chris Hayward. The proposal was later handed to writers Norm Liebman and Ed Haas, who wrote a pilot script, Love Thy Monster. According to Burns, "We sort of stole the idea from Charles Addams and his New Yorker cartoons. Because Universal owned the Frankenstein character and the Dracula character for movie rights, they decided to take their characters instead of the characters we had written." While some executives believed that the series should be animated, others who argued for live action prevailed. In 1964, a live-action pilot titled My Fair Munster was filmed in color by MCA Television for CBS.
Hello, Marilyn.
I'd like you to meet my date. This is Jack.
Fred Gwynne and Al Lewis were the first to be cast early in February 1964. They had recently completed the series Car 54, Where Are You?, and had good chemistry together. Beverly Owen was signed to play Marilyn, Joan Marshall was cast as Herman's wife Phoebe, and Happy Nate Derman was cast as Eddie. A second pilot was ordered in April 1964, with Yvonne DiCarlo replacing Marshall, and the character renamed Lily. For a third pilot, Derman was replaced by Butch Patrick. CBS liked both DiCarlo and Patrick, but ordered a fourth pilot in which Eddie was less spoiled. Joan Marshall was replaced because it was felt that she too closely resembled Carolyn Jones' Morticia Addams. After the show was cancelled, there were many attempts to revive the show with mixed results. Several Munsters movies were released. 3 featuring original cast members include Munster, Go Home, The Animated Mini Munsters, and The Munsters' Revenge in 1981, the last film to feature original cast members. A television film titled Here Come the Munsters aired in 1995, and The Munsters' Scary Little Christmas was released in 1996. A feature film titled The Munsters was released on September 22, 2022. Most of these featured different casts. A new TV series called The Munsters Today came out in 1988, and it actually produced 72 episodes, more than the original series, but it wasn't very good. The cast included John Schuck as Herman, Howard Morton as Grandpa, and Lee Merriweather as Lily. A pilot episode reimagining the characters was produced by NBC called Mockingbird Lane and featured a darker take on the iconic characters, but it wasn't picked up. The first season opening credits were an outrageous parody of the opening credits of The Donna Reed Show, which always began with Donna Reed lovingly passing out lunches to her departing family members as they left the house one by one. Yvonne DiCarlo, as Lily Munster, did the same thing. The show was shot in black and white because the studio did not want to pay an extra $10,000 per episode for color. This show, and its rival series The Addams Family, both debuted within a week of one another in September 1964. At the end of that year's TV season, this show ranked number 18 in the Nielsen's, with a rating of 24.7, while The Addams Family came in at number 23, with a 23.9 rating. At the time, Nielsen's indicated what percentage of American TV households tuned into any given program. By the end of the following year, both series were canceled. Why were there two Marilyns? Beverly Owen played the part of Marilyn for the first 13 episodes. She was in love with her fiancé in New York and agreed to do the show thinking it would be a flop from the outlandish premise. When it became a hit, she was constantly crying from having to be in LA while her boyfriend John Stone was in New York. The other cast members asked the producers to release her from her contract so she could get married, and they did. She was replaced by Pat Priest, who looked so much like Beverly Owen, viewers never knew the difference. And finally, Yvonne DiCarlo didn't want to take the role of Lily Munster, but she had to as work had dried up for her and she was heavily in debt. The show revitalized her career. That was our show for today. What about you? Are you a Munsters fan? Who would you pick, the Addams Family or the Munsters? Have you seen any of the attempts to reboot this classic show? Let us know in the comments section below. And please subscribe to my channel. Also check out my own franchise Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter also in the comments section below. And until next time, this is Andrew in for Kevin Gibbons saying live long and prosper. May the force be with you and keep reaching for the stars.